Hey guys, Blue Kool-Aid here. I'm going to do a video for you. First thing I want to talk about, guys, is this power outage out in California. I got some stuff to talk about there. But if you guys just want a model update, I would just go to the last like 10-15 minutes of the video, and you'll see that's where my model update is. If that's, if that's what you want to do. I just want to make sure you guys know that. But first thing here, guys, the power outage, this is a big deal. Okay, I've never ever heard of this even closely happening before. Um, Somebody left a comment and was saying it was like I was wrong on the number of outages or how many people were going to be without power, and that's perfectly viable if I go, so I go fact check that, and the number that I gave was 800,000, which is what they were predicting at the time. Um, that was correct. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that it is actually more than that now. I think they're talking like a million, close to a million customers without power at by the end of this. Um, so what I'm going to do here, guys, this is a U.S. power outage map. I like this one a lot, and I'll leave a link to it. You can use this at any time. Okay, you can go to your particular state, like I live over here in Indiana, so I can go to Indiana, and this is what it gives me. Okay, it'll tell you how many uh, customers are without power. It tells you how many customers that they track, which is basically the amount of customers they have that they're able to track. So out of 2,778,278, 2,000, roughly 2,000 of those are out of power here in Indiana. Now this takes you down to the county. Okay, now you see the difference in color there a little bit. That's probably where that outage is. So you can probably click on that like right there. Yeah, customers out 1,434. So that's probably a thunderstorm or something going on there. I haven't looked at the radar or anything, but you can go down through here and you can go through all this. Right, these are all the providers. Okay, so in each state there's usually multiple providers as far as electricity goes, and they show you all the individual ones here. This is why I like this one. It's really easy to use, and you can go right to where you're at. It's not something that you have to try to guess at. And again, it's probably a thunderstorm here, but I don't even want to talk about Indiana. I just clicked there just because just to show you guys. But I'll take you guys over here to California real quick. Okay. Now, as we speak, as we sit here, you can see this map is totally different. Okay. Yesterday, this map was pretty much all blue. When they started those blackouts, the cutting the power shortly after midnight yesterday. Okay. Just like all the reports were saying. Now, right now, there's 537,000 customers without power that are being tracked, okay, out of however many customers there are there. Okay. Now, again, you can go down into the specific counties. Okay, and obviously they're color coded there. What do those color coded means? This is the outage scale for that county. So if you get that really deep dark red, like right here, okay, whatever county that is, you can see that there's 80,000 people that have electricity there, but right now it says that almost 70,000 of them don't have power. They cut it off. Okay, now you get the outage percentage. 86% of the customers there in that county do not have power. They killed it. Okay, so I want us to understand the numbers we're talking about here. These are huge numbers of people that are going to be without power. 1 million people. I mean, come on. So, and if it's a legitimate thing that they need to do this because of that reason that they're talking about, is it a knee-jerk reaction to them getting criticized last time when there was a big wind event, I guess, that happened out there, and they didn't shut the power off and some power lines fell over and it started wildfires and all that kind of thing? That's the reason. That's their reasoning for doing this. Now, that's what they're saying. Now, obviously, we always question that. I mean, it's just the nature of what I do anyway. I always question. Now, is it sometimes what they say it is? Absolutely. Okay. Is it sometimes what they say it's not? Absolutely. Okay. What they say it is might not exactly be what it is. Now, again, there's how you get to that. Just check that out. Now, again, we're having this meteor shower, right, guys? So, does that have something to do with it? We had the fireball yesterday or the day before. That's just something that we do see those quite often. Okay, those pop up all over the world all the time. It's just kind of odd that it happened in California during a meteor shower during a scheduled blackout. Well, right before a scheduled blackout for that. Now, also keep in mind, the original number here was 800,000 people predicted to be without power. Well, the wind that they're getting is coming from the north. Okay, so with that being said, it's actually going to spread on down towards. They're going to start the other providers other than PG&E are going to start. They're thinking about cutting power to some of the stuff down here in the southern part of that state. Okay, so if it gets down towards LA and stuff, they start killing power down there. That's a lot of people. Okay, San Francisco's down that way, San Diego. And again, I don't know if it's going to make it down that far, but, that's just what I'm trying to explain here. The wind's coming from the north, heading to the south. So that's why you'll see that these counties will spread down towards this way. They'll start showing some up here without power. So I'll leave the link to this. Check it out. I do think it's a valid thing we need to keep up here, because I do think that there's going to be a lot of people, badly affected by this. People that need the electricity to actually live with their, medical machinery and so on and so forth. So I'm going to pause here for a minute. All right, guys. I actually got you over here at YouTube right now. This is the meteor shower, or the meteor detector. It's a live stream, okay? It's actually real time. So, yeah, this is where you would go to try to see these meteors that are happening if you can't visually go outside and see it. Okay, it's, cloud cover or what have you. This is a good way to look at it. Oops. So, what I did want to show you, though, I showed you guys this one at the top yesterday. Okay, we'll go there here for a minute. And I'm going to leave the volume up so you guys can kind of hear this. Okay. We're getting quite a few meteors popping up on here rather frequently. Okay. So I imagine if we just hang out here for a second, we'll probably see one. And this one isn't as visual as the other one, the next one I'm going to show you. Okay, like I said, you'll see this, you hear a boop, like a beep, and you'll see a white line jump up right there usually. Okay, and that's where the meteors would show up, and then they would be down here. You would see them traveling down like this. This over here is a timestamp, and I have no idea why this is really extremely blurry. I don't know. That's not usually like that. So maybe on your guys' end it might not be. But as I'm looking at it right here, it's most definitely pretty blurry. There's one. You guys see that and hear that? Okay. That's what it would look like for just like a typical meteor. Alright, that's a pretty small one. It's not that big of a deal. I've seen them way bigger on this tool. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys over here to this other one, because I like this one. I just got turned on to this one a week or two ago. Okay, obviously this one's moving horizontal instead of up and down, but it's essentially giving you the same information. Not all the way the same, just because of the way this is set up. But this one seems to be, I don't know, at least more visual, to give you a better visual thing to look at to see what you're actually seeing. Okay, now you seeing all those are little meteors, guys. It's picking up stuff. Most of that is meteor stuff right now. Sometimes that you'll see different anomalies on here sometimes, because these tools are very, very sensitive. So everything you see on here isn't necessarily a meteor. Okay, and how these things work you have a transmitter and a receiver, and it's always sending a signal out. When a meteor comes through our atmosphere, when it gets burnt up, the particles it's leaving behind is interrupting that signal. That's what it's seeing. Okay? So we have to keep that in mind too. It's not actually just seeing a little whatever. It's not like it's, heat seeked on it and trying to watch it in like an infrared or something. This is totally different. Basically it's a frequency getting disrupted, and it's interpreting it visually for us right here. That's what we're seeing. Okay. But I did want to show you guys that. Okay, guys. This is that anomaly I showed you guys yesterday. You know how it hit our shield right there and just kind of like disappeared into nothing. Like it just disappeared or disintegrated, or we absorbed it or something like that. I have no idea what this is. Okay, it puzzles me that this is going from top to bottom all the way across the screen. It's thick, and it didn't do anything to our shield in the front when it hit it, other than just dissipate. Okay, this is why I'm having an issue with this, because this isn't normal. This should not be happening. So I started digging into this a little bit more, and first thing I'm going to show you guys real quick is right here is what this color is. Right, so we're about close to 1 unit here as far as pressure goes. This is what this thing is trying to see and tell us. Okay, so where do we go from here, right? How do we try to figure out what this is? Well, the fact of the matter is we probably won't figure out exactly what it is, but we could very well figure it out real close, and we could even actually figure it out. But at this point, I'm not saying this is anything that I know of at all. And what I've done is I've dug into some research here, and one of those things that we do is we go look at other models. Okay, so I looked at the timestamp. This is what I do, okay? There's a timestamp up here. That's 10/8 at 10:34. It actually started at like 10:31 or 10:34 or something like that when it first came onto the screen. So how do you verify this was anything at all, right? Well, one of the ways you can do that, at least begin to do that, is to go look at another model trying to show the same thing. Okay? So what we got here is this is the other model that I show you, right? Now, if you look at the timestamp, remember that anomaly showed up at 10:31 or something like that, like 10:31, 10:32. Down here, this is at 10:16. Okay? Now, this is showing us 10:16. The very next capture is at 1400 hours. It skipped ahead 4 hours. We don't have data for this on this model. Now, what does that mean? Yeah. I hate to sit here and just keep saying this, but they're doing this on purpose. Okay? Because when one model, and why I think this was a mistake that we were able to see this part of it, because on this model, guys, we cannot go back and get archived data. The only like history data we can get from this is the stuff that we record ourselves as we're looking at the model. There's not a database we can go back and look at this. Okay. Now, unlike this one, okay, because we can go back really far on this. We can go back years and look at this stuff. Okay, so it makes sense that they would just shut this thing off or take that data out of there when this happened. Okay, so in my mind, I think something happened here. I don't know what it was, but I think it's something that they did not want us to see. I think this slipped through. I really do. Because this is all kinds of odd. It really is. And this is the solar wind model. Okay, that's at 10:16, and then this one jumped ahead too. It jumped ahead the same amount. Okay, because they typically do those three models there, because they're getting their information from the same satellite. So that's why. Now, I just have a hard time thinking that should happen. Okay, so, then we can go, just do this. We can dig into it a little bit more. We can just wait. And that's something else, guys. I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you these models real quick, okay? We're not... This is really odd because I'm seeing stuff on here I've never seen before. Signatures that should not really be happening, especially when we're not getting nothing from the sun, because we're not. The coronal hole streams that were here, they're already gone. So all this stuff that's happening now, we cannot take back to a coronal hole. So it's got to be coming from somewhere. Then we start talking about cosmic rays, right? That's the very next thing you go to. Then there has been a couple like spikes on some of the graphs that I've seen that do kind of confirm some cosmic ray stuff, but only a few couple little spikes, not a bunch. Okay? But yet we're still getting smacked on the head right here with something, and it's continuing. It doesn't stop. So I don't know what's going on here. Is it our Planet X object that is, interacting with the sun's electromagnetic field causing this stuff again? I think that might be part of this. I do. This time. Along with cosmic rays and everything else that's been going on. I think it's all the above. I really do. Now, something else I'm going to say here. Now, this model we're looking at isn't so much a big issue. But when we're looking at like this one and this one, anything that's behind us, we have to keep, we have to reel it in a little bit. And what do I mean by that? Is these tools were not designed to see what's behind us or to show us what it thinks is behind us. In other words, it's not as accurate. Now, does that mean we shouldn't look there? No, it doesn't. We still need to look there because it's still showing us something. It's still data. We need to look at it and try to decipher what's going on, especially when we see stuff that has never been there before. So that's what I'm trying to say. Now, again, we can go back to a normal capture of this stuff and compare these with the normal, even the stuff that's behind us, and know that something's going on behind us or in front of us or wherever. Okay, I don't want to just use the word behind us. It's just that's my point there. So when we see these funky signatures, that it is telling us something's going on. Now, can we like dig down and see what it is? We do that. We try, but we're more accurate when we're talking about stuff out in front of us. Which leads me to this. Okay, see that blue color out in front? Look down here where it's at on the graph. Okay, that's wow. We don't typically see that. Okay, that's a color we don't usually see out in front of us. It's usually green, yellow. Sometimes it goes to orange. Very seldom do we see that, and it stayed like this for a while. Okay, I'll run it through here, and you guys can see. Now, this is where that anomaly I just showed you, this is where it jumped time, right there, and that's what it went to. Okay, now, remember what I said from out behind us, right? We're still seeing some funky little stuff happening here. Okay, now, again, see, we got hit right there. Watch out in front, you see that? That didn't come from a coronal hole. So what was it? Right? I mean, that's something we have to dig into. Now, that is crazy to me. What I'm showing you here, you'll see this right here, and it actually seems like it pushes back this way. Okay? So, why does the solar wind switch directions right there, pointing towards the sun, when it should be exiting out? Again, we have to keep in mind that this is behind us, and it may not be totally accurate, okay? Or it may not be totally what we want, what we're trying to see here. Okay, see, watch this. See how it did that, and it went the other way? Now, what I want you guys to look at here is these arrows. See how they're pointing that way? And none of the other arrows around it switch directions. This is really strange. Okay, now watch. It's going to switch just in that little area right here. It's going to switch back like it's pointing at the sun. Okay? See that? Look at that. Okay? So we go from here to there. See how the arrows are pointing the other direction? Towards Earth and the sun? When the rest of this stuff back here is going this way. Stuff that usually makes it back this far usually just keeps going that way. Why did it turn around and go that way? Why? That's what I want to know. Okay? I mean, it shouldn't do that. That's as simple as that. Okay? Because we go from normal to pushing back the other way. Just in that one little spot. What the heck was that? Okay? And again, see these funky looking signatures. I mean, these are signatures that I have never noticed before. Okay? I mean, these colors aren't even normal. So I don't know what's going on here. All I know is I'm showing you the observation, you know, and I'm going to I'm digging into this as best I can, just to try to figure out what's going on. Now this one here, again, these are the lines of magnetism, our connections to the sun, polar cap lines, closed field lines. Again, when we see the stuff happening behind us, we always keep in mind it's suspect. You know, we can't really say, hey, this is really what it actually is. The stuff that happens in front of us, yeah, we pretty much can say that's probably pretty much what's going on. But for it to jump and do those kind of crazy signatures is very, man, something's disrupting right there. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's not coming from the sun. I can say that for sure. Because unless it's some sort of stealth CME that fired off that nobody's seen, you know, hence the word stealth, because that does happen from time to time, guys. We get CMEs that people don't see. The data doesn't even see it until you look real close. And, you know, even the professionals, I guess you could call them, they would have a hard time seeing it. So, you know, is that what's going on here? I don't think so, because this is an over and over and over and over again thing. CMEs usually hit us and then go right on by. Okay? That's what happens with those. They're not continuing events, is what I'm trying to say. Flares, same thing. Flares only last for a very short time usually, because they move so fast. So I just wanted to show you guys that stuff. I am going to end the video here just because the time is getting a little long here. But, yeah. So, you know, does this meteor shower have anything to do with the power outage or anything? I don't know. I do know we need to keep an eye on it. That funky looking little, let's just back off of this and I'll show it to you again. That funky little, signature here. Okay, because you know, if anybody didn't record this, and if you go back and try to find this, you're not going to find it. I don't know why they don't put it in the database. I'm sure they do somewhere, that we just don't have access to it. And if we do, somebody please tell me. So I would really love to go have that information. I've dug into that, trying to figure out if we can get archived information, and I drew a blank on that. So, but yeah, guys, just keep all that stuff in mind. And again, I keep giving you guys model updates and stuff, and try to keep you up to date on all this stuff as I can. I do think that this is something that deserves a little bit more attention, and especially the stuff we're getting hit with on our magnetosphere. And again, we can't take it back to the sun. The sun's not doing it. So it's basically, you know, cosmic rays or a Planet X object causing electromagnetic disruptions. Okay, that's pretty much what I've come to conclude. And this goes right along, you know, them blocking data, blocking stuff that we see. You know, again, sometimes stuff gets through, and this is how we catch it. We just have to be on our toes, and it is getting harder. You know, Scott had that email correspondence with Sechi, and it's that just maps it all out how they do stuff sometimes. We're seeing a lot of stuff right now, and they're making it really hard for us to see anything. They're shutting the tools down for extended periods of time. They're shutting them down during stuff that we see on one model, and you go look at the other one, and they've pulled the data from that one. That's a dead giveaway that they're hiding something, that they don't want us to see it. So yeah, I mean, it is frustrating for those of us that do these channels, do this research. Me and Scott's been talking about that. He's really frustrated with it. I'm frustrated with it myself. It is getting harder to do this, but I can tell you this, guys, I'm not going to stop. I mean, I'm going to keep doing this as much as I can. And, you know, I'm going to try to keep bringing it, but you know, I guess someday they're probably just going to kill all of it, not let us see any of it. So, but I'll keep pushing until that day comes, guys. So, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid. Sorry, guys, one more thing. I'm going to give you an update here on the Schumann also. That solid line that we were talking about, again, it's turned back into that little hash mark code looking stuff. It's still in that code. I don't know what else to call this. That's why I call it that. I'm not sure, like I said, if it's a code or not. It definitely looks like one. It's definitely not one that I've deciphered. But I did want to bring that to you real quick also, to let you guys know that is still going on. So we need to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'm not seeing like any big spikes, long-lasting spikes here, okay? Which is, you know, that could be good. But what's going on with this, I really don't know. So, but yeah, guys, go check out that Meteor shower. Look at those 2 sites. I'll leave some links, guys, to all this stuff. Again, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.
And the sign says, long-haired freaky people need not apply. So I took my hair up under my hat, and I went in to ask him why. He said, you look like a fine, outstanding young man. I think you'll do. So I took off my hat and said, imagine that, me working for you. Oh, signs everywhere, a sign, blocking all the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? And the sign says, anybody caught trespassing will be shot on sight. So I jumped the fence and I yelled at the house, hey, what gives you the right to put up a fence to keep me out or to keep Mother Nature in? If God was here and tell you to your face, man, you're some kind of sinner. Signs everywhere, sign, blocking all the scenery, breaking my mind. Do this, don't do that, can't you read the sign? You read, you got to have a shirt and tie to get a seat. You can't watch, no, you can't eat. You ain't supposed to be here. And the sign says you got to have a membership card to get inside. Huh. The sign says, everybody welcome, come in and kneel down and pray. But then they passed around a plate at the end of it all, and I didn't have a penny to pay. So I got me a pen and a paper, and I made up my own Days have made me older since the last time that I saw your pretty face. 1,000 lies have made me colder, and I don't think I can look at this the same. All the miles that separate disappear now when I'm dreaming of your face. I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, it's only you and me. The miles just keep rolling as the people leave their way to say hello. I've heard this life is overrated, but I hope that it gets better as we go. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby. You're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only you and me. Everything I know, anywhere I go, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. And when the last one falls, when it's all said and done, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only you and me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. In a white room with black curtains near the station, black roof cones and no pavements, tired starlings, silver horses run down moonbeams in your dark eyes. Dawnlight smiles on your leaving, my contentment. I wait in this place where the sun never shines. the state.